Welcome to Class 3, where we'll dive into culture, American and Brazilian. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn more about yourself and to learn more about us. We are confident that God has all things in His hands and that we will be workmen approved by God by studying up and being faithful to learn all we can. Brazilians are a warm, friendly people who welcome you hospitably. They will appreciate every attempt you make to speak their language, and will often attempt to speak English. Don't be offended if someone can't understand you or begins laughing. They are enjoying your differences, not putting you down. Vale a pena.
So take some time to imagine with me a tree. There's fruit, branches, trunk, and roots. You got that tree in your head? Excellent. So thinking about this tree representing our worldview. So what are the different parts of our worldview? Think about your values, your beliefs, your behavior, and the consequences that your behavior has. If we would relate the different things of our worldview to that tree, what part would what represent? So for example, what would the fruit be? The fruit would be the consequences of our actions from our worldview, that stem from our worldview. The branches, that would be our behavior. So our behavior then affects, the fruit, obviously, the consequences. The trunk, what is it that holds us up? Those are our values. And going all the way down to the roots, that would be stemming from our beliefs. So Che has a really great diagram, and it's already there on you. So ideas have consequences. So the fruit, the branches, the trunk, and the roots. And the consequences, behavior, values, and the beliefs. So as we think about this, and this is for every one of us has our own worldview, how does this apply then going to a different country, having a different worldview, a different culture? Taking out this handout, what do you find to be true? So take some time, pause the video, and discuss for about 5 minutes within your group. So looking down here, we have the growing healthy cultures. And you can see this weak little tree has a lot of lies planted in the culture and only a little bit of truth. Whereas this healthy tree has a lot of truth and only a couple lies. So thinking about that, what are Satan's strategies for destroying nations? He has specific strategies, and those are listed. If someone could please open up their Bible and read Revelations 20, verses 3, 7, and 8. If someone else could please find 2 Corinthians 4:4. And if someone else could please find 1 Timothy 4:1. Take some time to read these together and really discuss the strategies that Satan uses to attack and kill our culture. So now taking some time to think about specific examples of lies that Satan has planted in our culture. We have a counterfeit building blocks handout that basically breaks this down. So it's looking at one counterfeit building block that we want to examine. What is a lie that Satan has planted? Now thinking about our own culture, because that's the one that we know the most. If you have about 4 to 6 people, you can stay together as a small group. If you have more, please break down into smaller groups and use this paper as a discussion time, then come together. Thank you. Please take out the Brazil culture handout and discuss it as a group. There's a lot of different things on looking at America and looking at Brazil and seeing many things that are just a little bit different, but oftentimes many the same. Thinking about your own culture. Right here, we have some devotional homework, which will be for you to take home and do later. But for now, once you get finished talking and discussing and reading through this and seeing what you think, please take some time to look at the culture video that Lindsay Turner made. As we finish up, always know that we're available for a Skype call for you or your team leader. We can set that up if you need to get that done. We want to get you ready to go to Brazil. We want you to feel good and know what's going to be happening and what's coming up. Team leader, if you could pass out the coming or going handout. It's a story that I wrote that discusses the different phases of culture shock and then reverse culture shock coming back. Also, don't forget about that devotional homework. Please go and listen to Portuguese class with Cade, number 3, and then finish in prayer.